Saudis threaten global economic repercussions if punished for murdered journalist.
Here's a summary of the article.
Saudi Arabia said on Sunday it would retaliate to possible economic sanctions taken by other states over the case of Jamal Khashoggi, the state news agency SPA reported, quoting an official source. The kingdom will respond to any measure against it with bigger measures, the source said, adding, the Saudi economy has vital and influential roles for the global economy. Saudi Arabia has been under pressure since Jamal Khashoggi, a prominent critic of Riyadh and a U.S. resident, disappeared on October 2 after visiting the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. 22 U.S. senators last Wednesday forced a U.S. investigation of whether human rights sanctions should be imposed over the disappearance of Khashoggi. In a letter, the senators said they had triggered a provision of the Global Magnitsky Human Rights Accountability Act requiring the president to determine whether a foreign person is responsible for a gross human rights violation. U.S. President Donald Trump said in a CBS interview on Saturday that there would be severe punishment for Saudi Arabia if it turns out that missing Saudi journalist Khashoggi was killed in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. Asked whether Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman gave an order to kill him, Trump said, "Nobody knows yet, but we'll probably be able to find out." Trump added in excerpts of the 60 Minutes interview that will air on Sunday, "We would be very upset and angry if that were the case."
This post received a score of 79,259, with an upvote ratio of 92%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Cool. Let's do it.
Last I heard trade wars were easy to win.
This isn't a trade war. Edit, this isn't a war over trade. This is a war over human rights, and the first move to play is trade. Very different. The Saudis are shitting on the international community's basic human rights. The main way to hurt them for that is to exclude them from the international community's trade.
This is aggressive negotiations.
My oil prices have doubled since the last time we did business.
Good. Twice the price, double the fall.
I enjoy how half the comments belong in our prequel memes and half are serious. V.
And they're both the same half. I double dog dare you. Yeah, I double dog donut dip Dr. Dan dare you.
Yeah, can I get the half chocolate sprinkles one?
Do it. Let's break it, so we are forced to remake it. Do it now.
We really ought to move away from oil anyway. Just makes more sense to invest in something that's longer lasting and doesn't cost billions to clean up if there's an accident rather than something that's finite and a major pollutant.
It's funny the Saudis are aware of that, and intentionally have tried keeping oil prices down over the years to prevent increased demand for renewables.
Well, if they're gonna threaten to raise prices, then no time like the present to GTFO of that deal.
They aren't threatening to raise prices, they are threatening to tank the dollar, which would in turn ruin China's exports, crashing the two biggest economies in the world.
The only way they could retaliate is through manipulation of the oil market. Now that they're threatening this, that makes adoption of alternative energy strategic for national security.
Didn't America go apeshit on tariffs for Canada under the pretext of a national security clause? Doesn't this constitute an actual national security threat? Saudi also already went apeshit on Canada for calling them out on their human rights violations. Retaliated like a petulant child as well.
And made a subtle 9/11 threat.
Subtle?
More subtle than, we did 9/11 and we will do it again.
Seriously, fuck these guys. And fuck every politician, Democrat or Republican, that still kowtows to these motherfuckers.
America has been sucking Saudi dick for decades, that isn't going to change anytime soon. I'm sure my own government, Norway, will also quietly condemn their actions before returning to business as usual.
This is unacceptable amounts of arrogance and petulance from them, but we all know nothing will happen. Why? Look at the edit second top voted post on this sub of all time. What happened about the Panama Papers? Nothing will happen as long as the wealthy protect each other.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by SMMRY.com, without any human intervention.